Hello guys, welcome back to our channel RK Data Labs. Today we are going to continue our existing AWS series, and today we are going to see one new topic from our existing already covered AWS topics. Yes, so today we are going to cover AWS Glue. As you all know, Glue is a fantastic service which is provided in AWS service. Yes, it is an ETL tool, it is serverless, and it can be able to write any kind of function or any kind of transform logic or extract or load to either of any kind of databases or as a file in file system like S3 and any other sources respectively. So Glue is a is very important service where we will connect with couple of data stores or data sources from extract layer, and then we will try to transform the data, like whether we are trying to build a SQL logic or whether we are writing a Python code, or we can even write a Scala code as well in order to make sure that you are doing some transformations. And then finally you are trying to load that respect to transform the data to either of any kind of database like Redshift, um, DynamoDB, or any RDS or Aurora DB, anything that you wish, or even you can put back all the transformed files even to S3 bucket as well, right? So today we are going to cover how to create data catalog tables using crawlers. So here we go. So if you see in this page, we are in the AWS Glue page. So at the left side, there are like couple of things. So in the first section, we are able to see like the summary of the important sections, like ETL jobs where we can see visual ETL. And if you want to write a Python or Scala code, we need to have a notebooks. And if you want to run a job and then you need to monitor those jobs, you can just simply click on job run monitoring. And then finally we have like a couple of things here, data catalog tables. So I'm just going to simply click on data catalog tables. There are two ways. One is simply you can create a table without having a kind of crawler. Like crawler in the sense, what is meant by crawler first of all? So crawler is nothing but it connects to different data sources, right? It connects to like any kind of data source. It can be a kind of MySQL, it can be a S3 bucket, even can be a Redshift or DynamoDB or anything it can be. Crawler connects to corresponding data source, pulls all the metadata associated to the file or table, and then creates its own schema based on that in the Glue tables respectively. That is what the definition for crawler is. All right. So now what we are going to do, we are simply going to add the tables using crawler, and then we are going to query the table in Athena. Let's try to make one crawler here. Let's not put it. Fine. So the second what it will ask, I mean the second step, it will be asking like, is your data already mapped to Glue tables? All right. So if not yet, we can simply give it not yet. Else we have any tables associated, we can just simply give the respective table also. So now I've given a not yet. So what we need to do now, we are trying to add the source data source with S3. So let me add the data source here. So there are like, as I said, right, there are like couple of data sources available like JDBC. JDBC connects to MySQL, Oracle, Postgres, or any JDBC. DynamoDB even, like document MongoDB, like that. So now we are connecting with S3. So now what I'm going to do, I'm just going to simply, we don't want to have any network connection here because it's, since it's an S3 is an AWS service again. So the location always it is going to be in the same account. Let's not worry about that. And now what we are going to do, simply go back to browse S3. So where I have one bucket called test labs data. So I'm just going to simply get the respect to CSV here. So for this, you don't want to mention till CSV. So what you can just simply give till the bucket name. That's enough. Okay, you don't want to give the specific CSV files. So which means any CSV files which is coming under inside this bucket will be able to get the respect to metadata by this crawler. So see, if you see here, right, so there are like a couple of things. Crawl all the subfolders. Let's say inside this parent folder there are a couple of subfolders, even it crawls it and then gets the metadata. Or even if you want to, after creating it, if something like new folders are getting created, even you can crawl like that using this option, right? So let me add the data source as S3. Even if you want to add one more data source, you can still go ahead and add a source like this. Let's say you want to add a further JDBC, you can simply add a new connection and go on with that, right? So let's not worry about JDBC as of now. Let's go here. So I have completed. So let me try to take the test crawler already which I have created. So this test crawler, what it will do is simply connects with the S3 as one of the source. Okay. So this IAM role will only have the permissions respectively to connect to data, in S3 bucket. So at the moment, let's not worry about this, use lake formation and all. So it is trying to access it like, it is trying to provide it as a lake formation. Let's not worry about it. And then comes here, so the target database. So of course it will try to map it to one different database and the tables in the glue as well. Okay, so now we have to give a table name. TT crawl test. So if you want to even schedule a crawler, let's say like let the files comes in a weekly or daily, the crawler need to periodically check the respective files in the bucket and gets the metadata. You can even go ahead and schedule accordingly. So let's not worry about that. Let's not worry about scheduling like hourly, daily, weekly. Let it be on demand. So going back to next. So we are just able to simply review all these whatever we have given so far and then trying to create a crawler. Okay, successfully we have created a crawler here. So now what I'll do, I'll go to the data tab, go back here. So we should be able to see the table which we have created. Let me go here. So what this will do, basically it crawls the data from the CSV file which we have given, right? Click on the data sources. So now we are able to see the data source as test labs data. So whichever the files which is present inside this file, it is trying to crawl the data accordingly. So now what it is trying to do, it is just crawling the data which is as a CSV file, as we have seen here, right? So we have one CSV here. So it is trying to access this bucket and crawls the data which is present in the CSV file. So let me go back here. It will take time. So now we are able to see the status as completed, and now we should be able to see the table which should have been created here. Fantastic. So now we are able to see the table here, right? So the table has been created with the data source called that S3 which we have created from the bucket called test labs data. So successfully we have able to create a crawler, and then we have associated the crawler to a table called TT crawl test data test labs data. So now what we are going to do, we are going to go to Athena and see like whether the table can be accessible via Athena service. So just click on this tables. So we should have been able to see here one new table have been created. So let me try to go and check the preview table option. So if you can able to see here, right, all the contents which are present in that CSV file, right, was able to see via this query editor, right? So of course, so this is very simple and easy way to create a crawler and then associate the crawler with the new table, or even the existing table also you can do it. Every time you run a crawler using this option, it tries to go and access the bucket where I'm just showing here, and simply like let's say like day number 2, day number 3, when some files newly getting added, this crawler very intelligently able to crawl all the data associated and tries to create the metadata in this table, and then the respective data will get imported. Even if you want to access the data, you can simply go and hit the Athena service and then get the respective records here respectively. That's it. So hope you guys have enjoyed this video, watching like technically understand how glue table can be created using crawler. In my next video I'll cover a couple of AWS other resources. Stay tuned, keep watching my videos regularly guys. Thank you.